Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is going to be about the next big change coming into your life. That could be career, that could be just life in general, love, relationships, whatever comes out in the cards. We're going to get into it. We're going to try to keep it cute and short today, but we'll see what comes through. It seems quite impossible for me to do short readings, but maybe we could keep it short if I put all the cards out on the table and then get into the message. Who knows? We'll try. So for my group ones, that was a very ghetto shuffle. Group one, please, Spirit. What is the next change coming into your life? It's the next big change. You don't want minuscule changes. You want big, grand scale changes. How is their life changing on a grand scale, please, Spirit, for my group ones? How is their life changing on a grand scale for my group ones? Group ones. Ooh, here we have the Seven of Cups. So maybe you're going to be given a bunch of options. I'm hearing to fill your cup, to fulfill your heart's desires. Here we have the King of Pentacles. I'm hearing career options. King of Pentacles can also be a person coming into your life, because of course it's a suit and a person, or I should say the suit cards represent people around you and in your life. So this could be someone around you or coming into your life. And the Seven of Cups is about options. It's about getting, I don't know, in this instance, it's kind of giving me you're getting all that you want instead of only a few things. But we're going to see what else comes out in the card, because the cups, we have the Moon. Interesting. These cards together, what are you trying to say? Okay, well, that's enough from that deck. Let's keep it moving. I have another tarot deck here. And I'm seeing the Hermit. Are they coming out of Hermit mode or going into Hermit mode? The Moon would be... Okay, let's get into it. I'm excited now because these are interesting group of cards. Group one, please, Spirit, the next big change coming into their life. We have the Four of Cups. And the cards are quite talkative for you guys. And we have the Three of Cups. And then we have the Six of Swords. Okay, that's it. We don't want too many cards. That sometimes makes the message more difficult for me to decipher. Funnily, I mean, believe it or not, we have direction. That's Six of Swords repeated. So someone is coming into your life. Then we have mimicry. I'm hearing an imposter. So someone could be coming into your life and copying you. You could have like a secret admirer, you know, someone who's watching everything that you do. I'm not getting hater vibe. It's giving, And secret admirer isn't always romantic, but it's kind of giving me someone who's like watching you and following everything that you do, because they kind of want to be like you. They look up to you. So maybe you're going to have someone coming into your life saying they admire all that you do and kind of maybe collaborating with someone. The Four of Cups is you're giving that you're really picky. So whatever it is that's coming into your life, whether it's job, career, love, you're quite picky in general. This person can be picky as well. I'm not getting a clear message yet, though, so let's keep going. Can I get one more card from this deck, please, Spirit? We have Dominance. Oh, interesting card. Wow, this card doesn't come out very often. Okay, for my group ones, please, Spirit, the next big change coming their way. The next big change coming their way. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of a storyline here. So the first card that came out for you is the Seven of Cups, which means you're being given options. You're going to be given a lot of different paths you could go down. And okay, so it's kind of giving me different people you're dating, different people, okay? So the next big change is you dating a lot of people, okay? At least 3 people, right? And each of these people have things that you want in a partner, a long-term partner at that, which is the Seven of Cups. There's a few things you can get, but you can't get everything. So one person may have the looks, one person may have the career, the next person may have the personality, who freaking knows that you want in a person, but you haven't found someone that can give you all three of those things. They have looks, they have the career, then they have the personality, okay? And you're going to be dating a bunch of duds, frogs, if you will, before you meet your prince. And that prince could definitely be the King of Pentacles that was coming through here. But it is very imperative that you stay picky, is what I'm hearing with the Four of Cups. It's imperative that you stay picky. That is what has kept you single this long. And it would be a waste. It would be so ridiculous, in my opinion, and in spirits as well, that if you were to jump on the first thing that came your way because you're feeling a little extra lonely lately or something like that, you know? So let's see what comes through in this deck here. I want to shuffle it. Group ones, please spirit my group ones. What's the next big change coming into their life? You have a love spell, yeah. Oh boy, I kind of feel like you being picky and not wanting to choose and daydreaming about a specific kind of person or lover is kind of bringing them into your life. And that's like you following your direction. You're not, you know, what you could say, how can you say it? You're staying the course. You're not veering off in this direction or veering off in that direction. You have a very specific set of, I'm hearing characteristics or demands that you want in a partner. And because you've been so picky, you're kind of getting it, right? But it's not going to be in the way that you think or feel, because we have the moon coming through here. So it's kind of like smoke and daggers. It's like you're not going to see, it's not going to be clear to you. So it could be someone around you already that you're not aware that has all the characteristics that you're looking for, but it's gonna like come to light the more you stay the course, if that makes sense, or you get to know them maybe. So the next big change has to do with love and dating, I feel like. And then we have, move on. You could be moving on from someone. Interesting. Okay, so, and then we have commitment. Oh, how cute. How to root. Okay, that's it, because we have another deck to pull from. And then we have this deck. Let's see what comes through in this deck. This dominance card is kind of scaring me a little bit. Lord. Because while they have, it's like a really, I'll show you after. It's like a super close up on the crows. I'm like, I don't want to see the crow's black eyes. Excuse me. This person could have dark eyes that you're manifesting. And it's like very like, the cards are talking to, look, we have friend. Yeah, that's what I was getting. You're going to know this person a little bit before you realize, oh, wait. And it's going to smack you in the face. Like, oh, wait, this is the person that I've been manifesting thus far. But it wasn't immediately clear to you. Which is why the moon is coming through to show like a little bit of mystery. Okay, this person can be mysterious, interesting. And here we have haughtiness. Okay, this person can be a little bit uppity as well, but so are you. Or maybe you're calling in someone who is picky as well, or just picky in general if you don't consider yourself to be very picky and have a long list of things that you want in a partner or person. Haughtiness is like, I'm better than you, I'm holier than thou, right? Just uppity vibes, right? I'm gonna leave it at that. They think they're the prize is the vibe that's coming through here. Here we have, is this messenger? Wow, yeah. Someone's going to be messaging you. That could be, okay, so let's get one more card from this deck, please, Spirit, before we get into it. And the Three of Cups does also represent friendship, and that came out for you guys. So it's giving friends to lovers is the next big change coming into your life. Someone that you know, someone that you're going to meet. And here we have a young woman. This could be a young woman and wife. Wow, okay, so these are a lot of cards, a lot of information. Let's tidy this up, okay? Give me a second. I don't like mess and clutter, especially in a reading. You need to be clear and focused. So we have the Seven of Cups, options, dating, keeping an open mind, daydreaming. You've been daydreaming about a specific person. You could have been daydreaming about a provider. You could have been literally dreaming, because daydreaming and we have the moon dreams could have been you having a lot of dreams about being in a relationship or meeting someone, but you feel it coming, right? And this song is coming through again, and it came through in another reading that I did about how spirit is like viewing you. What's the gossip on you in the spirit world in the 5D? And in that exact group that I'm talking about, I was like how spirit is like laughing, or like this person doesn't know how good it's about to get. They don't know all the blessings coming into their life. They don't know they're about to get D down by somebody. Okay, so you guys could be from that group, but that's the vibe that's coming through here. That song was coming through. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, baby. You've been having dreams, or your intuition is like off the charts right now. And it's kind of like you could be watching a lot of pick-a cards, and every pick-a card is saying you're finding love, and you're kind of like, okay, but where? They're saying I'm finding love, but I don't know where. I'm not meeting anybody new. I don't understand what's going on, right? And you're kind of like confused. Seven of Cups is confusion. You're manifesting a specific kind of person in your life, but they haven't shown up thus far, the moon. But they could be already in your, I'm hearing peripheral. Okay, Lord, you're using the big words, huh? They could be in your peripheral, and if you don't know what that means, like in your immediate area. Like you can see someone on the side of your eye, essentially. You feel someone coming up behind you. You see somebody coming up in front of you. And it's like they're right there, but they haven't like made it all the way to you yet, okay? That's the vibes that I'm getting here. It's like when you're walking down the street, you see somebody walking in your direction, but it's not until they get close enough for you to, you know, kind of decipher their face that you realize who this person could or couldn't be, right? It's like you see somebody across the street and you're like, hey, I feel like I've seen you before, but before you can even like go and look deeper, they kind of pass you by, right? This could be someone you've had run-ins with or you've passed by literally in your city, on a walk, you know, on the train, for those of you who live in a train, even in traffic, because there's so many cars in traffic when you're going to work, coming home from work. You would never know that your future spouse is right. See future spouse vibes, yep. You would never know that your person's right in the car next to you or 3 cars behind you, but they're in your immediate space. So it's like they're inching closer and closer to your life, and your dreams, your intuition could be off the charts, okay? I also remember that same group, Spirit was like how you're going through a transformation, so you could be feeling extra tired lately. So, or maybe it's because when you're dreaming, you're having dreams and you're not getting rest. So when you wake up, it kind of feels like your body has gone through the ringer and you haven't gotten any kind of rest. Those could be signs your person's coming in. You're always tired. Your intuition's off the charts. You find yourself predicting things or feeling things before they come in. That kind of energy. Or like I said, you've been watching a lot of pick a cards and they've been saying, hey, someone is coming in, but you're kind of like, but when? But where? But why? But who? More specifically, right? And you're kind of like, what's going on here? But this person's like, you see how they're just sitting there with their eyes closed. This person's at rest. If this is you, you're at rest, you're at peace, or you're in like a pause, or you're taking it slow. Because the King of Pentacles, one thing about a Pentacle person, they're going to take their time, child. Okay? So whether this Pentacle person is representing you or your person coming in, one thing you can know already about this person, they take their time. Or they're taking their time. Of course, they may want a person, they want a connection, they want a relationship. But look at how his eyes could also be referring to him being uppity, like, nose in the air, literally. His nose is in the air, like, I'm not just falling for anyone. So they're willing to take their time, right? They're like, okay, I'm not going to just, pick up anybody off the street. It has to be a specific person. I have standards here. And you do too, I feel like. But you're a little more impatient. One thing about a Pentacle person as well, an Earth sign, they're patient and they're very good at manifesting what they want. So this person has put their desires out into the world and they're waiting for it to come in, right? Master manifestor vibes. This person, like, I already know a person's coming in. I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. Their eyes are closed. So they're not like in a rush or, trying to, they're not worried. This person seems at peace, very sure of themselves, very confident, okay, very stable. A grounded individual where they don't really have much anxiety or worries about the future or the present because they're just kind of living their life, essentially, right? And if you live your life, that's when things come to you. It's kind of gives me this saying when they say you find love when you're not looking for it or when you're not expecting it. So you could be wanting love, but you're not expecting when you meet this person, you're not going to be expecting it, if that makes any kind of sense. But the moon is, that's what's coming through with the moon. Okay, boom. You could be meeting this person when you're traveling or on the move because we have the 6 of Swords here. You could be moving somewhere because she has a lot of swords here. That's why I'm also hearing rooted. This person could be rooted, like they're sat somewhere and they're not moving. They could be the kind of person who's a homebody and they're not going out and dating. So it's like, how will you meet them then? Like that kind of thing. They're going home every day, reading their books, eating their dinner, not stressed, not worried. But some way, somehow, you're going to meet this person, guys. There's no need to worry because what is meant for you will never miss you. This person sitting there, sitting cute, is kind of giving me, they could be in a hermit mode because hermit did come out for somebody. I think it came out of your reading. The hermit card came out. So it's kind of like they're not moving, they're not dating, they're not worried about love right now. They're kind of just like, at peace, they're cruising. This could literally be you standing on the pier and this is your person cruising on by in the boat. You guys would never know that you're about to meet in the most serendipitous of ways. It could be you are about to get on this boat with them and you guys have no idea you're going to meet. So boats could be important, bodies of water could be important, piers could be important, cruises could be important. I know my sister was trying to tell me about a cruise she's going on later in the year. If you get invited to a cruise, maybe go on one. You can meet this person on a cruise, right? By a body of water. But it's kind of like when you meet at the shipping dock, you have all your freaking bags. And not expecting to meet your person on this cruise. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm here, right? I'm not expecting to meet nobody. Even if I'm telling you in the reading right now, you're going to meet someone on a cruise. By the time you go on this cruise, you might forget, or you're not expecting it, or you're like, okay, whatever, I don't believe it. And then boom, you meet someone. And then you remember this reading and say, oh, she said I might be this person on the cruise, and you did, or you do, or by a body of water, or a party boat, whatever you want to call it, or a yacht. You could be on the side of the thing looking mighty fine, right? She minding her business. She looking this way. The boat is passing this way. She's not even like, it's not on her radar yet because it's there. You can probably hear it. She can feel it. But look, in her peripheral, oh my freaking gosh, exactly. The boat is in her peripheral. So you could like probably this person has passed by you many times, but you've never like stopped to look, or you didn't know to look, right? But anyway, the boat is in her peripheral and she looking fine, okay, stylish. And somebody in the boat could see her and be like, hey bro, stop the boat real quick or dock us, let's stop. And while you're waiting, this person hops off the boat and comes to talk to you or tries to get your attention in some kind of way. Like it's like giving that vibe to me, okay? Like they see you before you see them or something like that could be the vibe coming through, and they kind of like make it their mission or go out of their way to stop and meet you kind of energy. So the next big change is giving relationship. You're meeting someone that you can start off as friends, right? I kind of feel like a slow burn could be the vibe coming through here where you guys both want to be friends. You prefer to get to know someone very well before you know, dive into a relationship with them, or it's something you've never tried before, right? It's kind of giving me, not to always bring them up, Nick and Alandria from Love Island season 7, how they started off as friends for like a month and a half, and it wasn't until the end that Alandria was fully able to like let her guard down quicker than she would have with if Nick had came in as like a bombshell or something. They got to build and cultivate their relationship. They built trust, right? They built camaraderie. They could laugh, put their guard down. Because when we meet new people, it's always like we have to be perfect and be in our P's and Q's. And we can't be goofy and we can't make fun of them. We can't do this, we can't do that, because we're trying to get them to rope them into being a romantic partner right away. When you build a friendship, you build a comfortability with this person. So you know when it comes time to being romantic with them, you know you can trust them. You know, it's kind of like a trust fall. It's going to be easy because you know them to their core. You know the substance of them already, okay? I'm hearing this person could be older or younger because the Substance is a movie about, I guess, a woman trying to reclaim her youthful body or something. I haven't seen the movie, but I saw the previews and it's like the Substance. I don't know what it was about, but it's giving me a younger and older woman, you know, trying to reclaim your youth maybe. I don't freaking know. This person could be trying to reclaim their youth through you. Interesting vibes, but that's what's coming through. But it is definitely giving me you're not expecting to meet them. You start off as friends, or you hold them at a distance and say, no, you're too old for me. No, you're too young for me, right? You're too this for me because you're picky. We have the Four of Cups. Yes, that would make so much sense. You're so blasted picky and so are they, but it's not until you get to know this person you realize how perfect they are for you. And that's this moon vibe coming through. Interesting. Yeah, I'm holding the card in my hand. I'm like, where is it? You're so picky. Try not to be so picky, okay? With this next person or this next endeavor in love, whether you start off as friends or you're dating, try not to be so picky. They don't have to have be 6'4" with muscles and they're stacked and they're rich, and maybe they'll have a few of those things, right? Maybe they won't have every single thing you want, but it's what matters is the core of them. That could be why the Substance is coming through the movie. Maybe you give it a watch. I don't know what the message from the movie is, but I think it's like be happy with what you have, or age gracefully. I don't freaking know. I just know Demi Moore is in it, right? So that's coming through. But yeah, the substance of who they are, that's what you get to learn the more you get to know them as a friend. And then sooner or later, when they're not looking for love and you're not looking forward or expecting it, I should say, to be more specific, that's when it happens. Okay? I'm hearing While You Were Sleeping. That movie could be important to somebody. It's the movie with Sandra Bullock where she falls in love with this guy that she doesn't know very well. And it's through him. So you know what I like to think, or what I'm thinking now? There's a reason why she felt so drawn to that guy in the first place. She thought it was for love reasons, but it ended up she was meant to be with his brother. And if she was never fixated on him and never would have went to the hospital or saved him after being run over by a train, funnily enough in the movie, she wouldn't have never met the brother who was a person she was meant to fall in love with. And theirs was kind of like a slow burn, enemies to lovers or friends to lovers situation. And they didn't expect to end up together, but there was a attraction they couldn't really deny. And while they weren't perfect, nobody's perfect, right? They like had like a, I don't know, like a kinsmanship they felt with each other. She was comfortable with him. She felt nervous around the brother she initially thought she wanted to be with. But the other brother, she was like opening up and didn't know why she was opening up and being very vulnerable and, you know, able to be goofy and shut the door in his face and be mean to him. And that's the kind of connection you need at the core of you, is what I'm getting, okay? Spurs, like, you need someone you can be your goofy, open, vulnerable, raw self with. And you will not get that if you start off already dating this person without being friends with them, right? Because in the movie, Sandra Bullock was like a very shy girl. She was very reserved, didn't have much family, didn't really have anybody there to like support her or lean on. She was all alone, and all she had was like a cat, I believe, or a dog, one of those. But she was spending Christmas alone, which is why the guy that she saved, who she was also in love with for the longest time's family, brought her in and said, you come over to our house for Christmas. And she went over to their house and they fell in love with her. She fell in love with them. So while this man was sleeping in a hospital bed, she was like, not interloping. I mean, kind of interloping, but she was like, you know, and getting closer to his family. And I guess she thought in her head, I bet she thought, I meant to say, in her head, yeah, when he gets up, he gonna see how good I am with his family, and he gonna want to be with me, not knowing the brother is the person she ends up with. And like I said in the movie, she kind of gets out of her shell with him more than she would have if she started dating the other brother. I hope it makes sense, right? You're gonna be able to be your real, true, honest self, this person, but it takes you being friends with them first for you to be that, okay? For you to be mean to them and tease them and not always be your P's and Q's. The real you shows, okay? This person can be a little bit stubborn. Maybe watch While You Were Sleeping. Maybe the brother she falls in love with at the end could kind of describe your person. He does give earth sign vibes. He was very mistrustful when they first met each other because he was like, my brother would tell me if he was dating someone, right? And his brother didn't say anything about that. So he was like, who are you? Are you sure you are who you say you are? So he was skeptical of her at first. So they never would have thought at first meeting or first glance they would have fell in love. But they did at the end of the movie, which is really cute, okay? The Hermit is definitely giving me that kind of vibe. Didn't that card come out? Where is it at? It's hiding or something? I think I just saw it at the, in the middle of the deck. But anyway, we have this Three of Cups, and Three of Cups is the freaking quintessential friends card, okay? You could also meet this person while you're out celebrating. You could meet this person at a coffee shop, or you can meet this person on a cruise out about in the world while traveling, okay? Six of Swords is an energy of embarking on a journey of healing, of leaving the old behind and embarking on the new, exploring new horizons. So out with the old and with the new, no longer doing what you did in the past. When it comes to connections and love, that's a transformation right there, okay? So if you are from that group where I was like, what's the gossip on you? What's spirit saying about you? This definitely still applies because you're going through a transformation of being someone who, I don't know, it could be wary of love to kind of easing into it beautifully with no worries, And that could be something you do. You worry a lot, okay? And this King of Pentacles will not give you reason to worry because he's very direct, very straightforward. There's nothing to hide with him. And he's just like a really cool, down-to-earth dude, stable as well. Because true, nobody wants no unstable person in their life. But yeah, out with friends, celebrating, when you meet this person, but there's also good times with friends coming through. Your next big change, okay? Remember, it's a trip. It could be you moving literally, physically. Yeah, that as well is coming through. But I'm more so getting of course, but these three cards over here from the Cosmic Insights Oracle is and look, it says move on. Exactly. So you could be moving. And that's how you meet this person, on the train, on the plane. I don't want to cover him. I don't like covering him up. It doesn't feel right to me to cover up the King of Pentacles. So I don't know where this card is going to go. Three of Cups. Come together with your coven. Yay. This is cause for celebration. This is you hanging out with the girlies, right? And saying, I met this great guy. You won't believe it. He, like, it's like a friends, not friends lovers thing, but it's, I mean, it will be, right? But it's like, you won't believe who asked me out, or you won't believe who I like now, you know? And your friends are coming together to celebrate you finally finding someone good for you. And they're going to be like, we knew the whole time, sis. You're going to be like, what do you mean? And we're going to be like, we saw the chemistry, but you guys just couldn't see it yet. So everyone around you is kind of seeing it, but you're not going to be able to see it until it, like, smacks you in the face, you know? Which is cute, I feel like, I guess. I don't like surprises, but maybe you need a little bit of surprise in your life, you know? But it's like getting together with your friends and saying, whew, I met this guy. You won't believe who asked me out, and it was such a good date. I didn't think it would ever get here, right? It's kind of giving the conversation that Alandria has with Shelly after she realizes she has romantic feelings for Nick, right? And you may try to friend zone them when you first, like, get to that romantic, like, oh no, we're better off as friends. But then you can't deny the chemistry and the pull you have with this person. And one thing Nick is going to do for Alandria is stand 10 toes down for her. I was just watching a video earlier this morning where they were on live and Nick bought Alandria a new pair of AirPods. And her reasoning was, I lost my pair. And he's like, yeah, she lost her pair. So I bought her a new pair. He saw a problem, he fixed it, okay? It's giving provider, it's giving fixer. Like, what do you mean? That's the King of Pentacles right there. Whether they're young, they're old, it doesn't matter. They are a provider at heart and they want to take care of people, right? And one thing he said when he was coming on the show is he wants someone to take care of. You know, and he may be young, he may be goofy, he may be quirky, but one thing about him is he's going to take care of the people around him, child, okay? And that's what he's doing with Alandria. We love that. We love to see it. And yeah, that's what happened. She was asking Shelly, like, does it look natural? Do we look good together? Is it, because she's worried about what people think. That could be something you worry about in connections in general, or just in what with this person. Like, what people think, right? If they're older, they're younger, there's something about that coming through, different race, you know, interracial vibes. I believe the reason why Alandria asked Shelly is because of that interracial factor, right? And also, I do think he is younger than her as well. So she's like, oh, do you think it looks natural when we're together? Like, you're a little self-conscious at first, but your friends are going to be there like, girl, we knew this was coming. We see the way he looks at you, all that kind of stuff. Love it. Love to see it. Okay, period. Let's continue. Let's move on. And that segues straight into move on. It says someone's unavailable, waste of time, it's over. I'm not really getting that vibe unless you are dealing with someone who's not giving you what you want them to give. And in that case, move the F on, okay? Do that right now, expeditiously. This is more so the Six of Swords. You're finally moving on from a past connection and closing the door, right? You could be still a little hung up on a past person or holding out hope that maybe they'll come around, and Spirit is like, nah, sis, move on, okay? And then here we have what? Move on into a commitment. Okay, move on into a commitment. This is what you really want, a commitment. Not a situationship, not an uncertainty ship. I'm making up words, but period. Not a situation where you're not sure what's going to happen. A commitment, right? Things are getting serious. Once you move on, once you move, whatever it may be, okay? And then we have a love spell. You've been bewitched, okay? I'm hearing witchcraft. That wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra's coming through, so that is giving older vibes. It is giving more mature vibe. It's giving jazz, crooner kind of music, 50s vibes. So this person could be definitely older than you. They could be in their 50s, child. Take it as a resonate. It doesn't have to resonate like that. They could have been born in the 50s. For those of you, if you're older, they could be in their 50s. They could be an old soul and love 50s music, crooner, jazz, stuff like that. But, and the thing that I'm getting, or is coming through clearly, is it could be definitely taboo. And taboo doesn't have to mean age, doesn't have to mean anything. It's things that society is uncomfortable talking about, or things that they like to judge too quickly, which also happen to be age gaps, race, social standing, whatever. I'm hearing disabilities, something like that could be coming through as well. Like people don't want to talk about that, so it's like taboo. Shh, we don't talk about Bruno vibes, you know. But yeah, you've been bewitched. You're not gonna know what hits you, child. Once you start, it's I'm hearing like a wrecking ball. The song from Miley Cyrus is coming through, but it's also like a whirlwind, a tsunami. You're kind of like smacked in the face with your feelings for this person, and then it's kind of like, why didn't I see it before? Why were we the only two oblivious? And it's because it was for a reason. Okay. Simple as that. You've been bewitched, and it's giving. The only suit that we have coming out is a King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is the culprit. So you have Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or they have those placements, or they have those mannerisms or personality of an earth sign, okay? I'm getting Capricorn vibes. I don't know why, but the devil's coming through this person can have like a devil may care, or like a devilish grin or something like that. There's like a sexy vibe to them. It's giving like a boss. That's taboo as well. What if you move to a new job and the boss is your person? Oh, that would be so juicy. Come back and tell me. I want to know everything. Yeah, you move to a new place, you get a new job, and you fall in love with the boss. But it takes some time because, okay, we're going to leave it there. I'm getting too... I read too many books, child, okay? But love spell, you've been bewitched. As soon as you guys realize you have feelings for each other, it's going to be quick, okay? I feel like. But the slow burn may be a little slow. I want one more card from this deck. And now this mimicry is taking on a new definition to me. Give me a second. I'll just need one more card to make it even, or it's going to bother me. And we have manifest. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting in the beginning, where you may date people who only have one or two of the things you're looking for. This person will have everything, but you're not going to see it because when you first meet them, it's giving friend. It's not giving lover. And that allows all the things you want to manifest within them, you know, in a cute way. So you can get like a cutesy little thing, you know? Anywho, but manifest, write down everything. You could be manifesting this already, but if you aren't, write down every single minute detail, no matter how insignificant. If you want a specific kind of person, write them down, create them, literally manifest that ish. The perfect person for you. It's giving freaking practical magic. When Sally said, hey, you better have one green eye, one blue. You better do this, you better do that. You know what I mean? Right? And it manifested in a way where she didn't realize, because he came as a cop to investigate the murder of her sister's ex-boyfriend. And the whole time he seemed like someone who was so serious, so stoic, so unfeeling. He was just there to investigate the murder. And he was like probing and asking her all these questions. And then the more they got to know each other, the more the romance came out of it. You see? You see how this keeps manifesting in the reading itself? You're not going to know. And it's funny how both of those movies have Sandra Bullock in it. Okay, so Sandra Bullock can be important. Yeah, but that's funny. While we were sleeping, Sandra Bullock is the main character, and so is, you know, Sandra Bullock in Practical Magic. But it's definitely giving those vibes where she manifested that man and said, here, this is the kind of person that I want. Unless I get this person, I'm not falling in love with nobody. And then here they come. And you don't realize it for whatever reason, the moon is here. This is crazy. This is crazy. But it's definitely giving you manifested. Tell them exactly what you want, and it will lead to celebration. Okay, now let's keep going. Mimicry is giving me how when you like someone, they say that you like copy them, copycat things. So if you cross your legs and a few seconds later, they cross their legs, it's giving the people you like and are charming to you, you copy what they do. So if someone like blinks, you're gonna blink. If someone like crosses their legs, you're gonna cross their legs. If someone, you know, takes a sip of their water, you take a sip of your water. You know, if someone sneezes, you sneeze. If someone yawns, you yawn. Like the things that you guys do is kind of like the Superman, where it's like, what? Who? You're me, I'm you kind of energy. You guys could have like a lot in common. So it's like you're you, or you're them in lady form or man form or person form. It's like, but why? How are we so similar? And sometimes at first, people who are too similar don't get along until you see how it develops a little bit more. But you guys are similar enough to know you may want to be in each other's lives. But it's not romantic at first. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's what mimicry is giving me. like someone exactly like you, but in the opposite sex or the same sex, doesn't really matter. Whatever you like, okay? If you like it, I love it. Directions also giving travel and movement. So there's something here about moving towards this person. So there may need to be you. There may need to be some moving when it comes to you meeting this person, like doing things, getting out there, being ambitious is what I'm getting specifically, having some kind of direction. And that could also tie into the whole manifest exactly what you want. You need to do, okay, so for example, they say if you want to meet people, go places you would want your future partner to be. So if you're into jazz, you want a jazzy kind of partner, go to a jazz bar. If you want someone who's athletic, go to a freaking game or something. You want someone who's into cars and things like that, go to a car show. You have to put yourself in places to meet people that are like the person you want. So while you manifesting and writing it down and visualizing is great as well, also putting yourself in places to meet these people is great. If you want to meet someone who loves vacationing, go on a vacation. You're going to meet loads of people who love vacationing. You know what I mean? If you love cruises, go on a cruise. If you love going out hanging with your friends and drinking, do that. And you're going to meet people who like doing the same things, right? So go to the places where your future spouse would be. Golfing, bowling, her clubbing, vacationing, all those things are coming through. But there needs to be some movement from you. This could also mean flying as well. Transportation in some kind of way. And it's funny how I was talking about you could be like a few cars down from your future spouse, you would never know. Okay. And then we have dominance, and love to see it, because period. And look at how we have two crows here, and one is trying to assert their dominance over the other. Now, you know what? I'm gonna read from the book for this one because I just love a dominant, just king or queen or whatever. Okay, period. Let's get to the book for this one. But it's giving you're gonna be not representing. You can be representing somebody here could be a lawyer, and you end up representing this person. That's why doesn't start off romantic, because you literally can't date. I don't know if you can. I don't know the logistics behind it, but I don't know if you're allowed to date someone you're representing. Kind of like a doctor can't date his patient. I don't even know if those are real. I think a psychiatrist, it would be taboo, right, for them to date their patient if it's legal. I'm not 100% sure. For a doctor, a regular doctor patient, is it legal? Can they date them? Teacher student kind of vibes. You go to school and you meet this person. It's like, we shouldn't be dating, but we are, right? Anywho, yeah, I want to read from dominance. So this person can be very dominant, okay? I can't. I'm hearing freaking, what's his name from Love Island? You like to be dominant. Shut up! You could like to be dominant, or this person likes to be dominant, right? Either way, it doesn't matter. It's coming through. So dominance, like all creatures, crows establish a pecking order. And to do so, the stronger bird asserts its power. Dominance indicates that you may be feeling restricted by someone, or that a stressful situation is impacting your thoughts and decisions. Someone or something may be flexing their muscle, which will cause friction within. See, that is that you guys are so alike. There's tension at first. But the subtle signs of you guys mimicking each other, copying each other, shows the attraction, shows the interest. But there's something here about butting heads. Whether you're too picky, they're too picky, you're butting heads because of that. You're too dominant, they're too dominant, you're butting heads because of that. And it takes time for this to develop, right? That's what I'm getting. And also something here, they said something about muscle. So gym, right? Athletics could be something coming through as well. Or like just getting out there and moving your body or something like that. That helps manifestations, I've heard, right? Being out in nature, stuff like that. Okay, so someone or something may be flexing their muscle, which will cause friction within, and you may not be able to fight or defend yourself. This card may represent a boss who makes you work overtime, a partner who always picks the restaurant, or a friend who always has to win. It may also indicate your need to be in control. On a positive note, dominance may indicate your power over something and your ability to control the situation. Yeah, I love to see it. Anyway, like this crow, what do you mean unhand this other crow? You're rude. But that's what I'm getting here for you guys, honestly. It's definitely giving you meet someone. It may not be, you don't hit it off. You can hit it off as friends, but not as romantic partners, because you guys are too alike, right? And you may think they're not the person for me. They may think they're not the person for you, whatever. And it just gradually builds. Here we have wife, so this could be an exchange as well. You're going to becoming a wife, okay? We have a young woman. You could end up being the young woman that they want set their sights on. A boss, it came through, okay? Here we have a messenger. Okay, this person may send you like a message. I'm hearing, is it curator? No, it's they may send like a curated message or flowers or something when they start dating you or whatever. This person can send you a message on a dating app or on social media. You guys are like, they don't want to be with me, or I don't see it happening. But we could stay friends though. And then it ends up becoming more than that the more you guys are around each other, okay? Here we have haughtiness. That is that uppity vibe coming from both of you guys I'm getting. And then we have a friend. So this person could definitely be a friend, or a friend could help you meet this person, or the next big change is you're meeting a friend that introduces you to someone that is potential for more, right? But yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. Beautiful reading, honestly. Beautiful, gorgeous. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. If you chose thumbnail image 2 or you found your way here, then you are in the right place, okay? Today's reading is going to be about what's the next big change coming your way, okay? How is your life significantly changing next? So we're going to hop right into the reading, okay? What massive shifts are coming your way? Okay, how is your timeline shifting? What's the next timeline you're jumping into? Like, all that kind of stuff. So you guys to kind of be like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm hearing interdimensionality. You could be into stuff like that. Timeline jumps and timeline shifts. Okay, at the bottom of the deck consistently, we have the 10 of Cups. I mean, 10 of Pentacles. Apologize. 10 of Pentacles. Is it still there? Still there. Okay, a home, a house, stability, generational. What? I almost said trauma. That's crazy. Generational wealth, a long-term job, a long-term partner, longevity is essentially what the 10 of Pentacles means. And it doesn't want to leave the bottom of the deck, so I guess longevity is what's coming through. Health, prosperity, happiness, that kind of thing is coming through. The ability to buy whatever you want whenever you want to buy it. You know, if you want to go on a trip, you can afford it. You want to move somewhere new, you can do that. You know, you want a new Gucci Prada bag, you got it. Maybe even a Birkin for some of you. You know, it just depends the money you are making right now, as opposed to what your next step up would be. You know, a vacation, a house. I'm hearing a vacation house, a beach trip, something extravagant. So maybe the next thing, your next big change is buying something that's going to give you longevity or make you feel like you're like finally an adult or grown up. Because the 10 of Pentacles is like grown folk things. Okay, it's giving 401k, it's giving it's not pension. Pension for some of you, but is it pension? I'm not sure. My friend was talking to me about she's a teacher. So tenure, there it is. When you get to, tenure, your job is secure, right? That's what's coming through. You're getting a secure job, a secure placement, something like that. You know what I mean? If some of you like put yourself in like a lottery for maybe housing or job or a career or something, you're winning it. You went into a sweepstakes, you're kind of getting that kind of thing. Okay, that's a complete timeline shift is what I'm hearing for you guys. So things are gonna like change almost overnight. Things start coming in, mostly money. We'll see what comes through in your reading, but that's the kind of thing that's coming through. You guys believe in like not the metaphysical, but what is the thing they call it? it is timeline shifting, but it's like different universes. You believe in the multiverse. There it is. You believe in concepts like that. There's a bunch of other scientific words for like time, space, continuum that's kind of coming through. That could be what you like. I'm hearing major in. That's funny. You could major in that, or that's what you are mainly trying to do in your life. You know, manifest, I guess. So group 2s, please, Spirit. We have Two of Wands. Yeah, there's something here about a change, moving forward with something. It's like you're visualizing it and then stepping into it. It's like, you know how some people can, what do you call it? Is it transport? I mean, I don't think that's what it's called. But when you're able to go from one place to the next, superpower, whatever it's called. You're visualizing it, the door's open, you're visualizing what you want, and then you're stepping through that door and a new reality awaits you is what I'm hearing. So that's coming through. Your shift is definitely giving like on a grand scale. It's not just something small, and not that a lot of things are small, but it's like for group 1, for example, theirs was a relationship, you know, and that's like, it's significant, but it's not new scenery, a new house, a new job, traveling for work if you want to travel for work. Two of Wands is traveling more, period. It's like your life goes from being boring to being like a whirlwind in like 2.2 seconds. And it's because you visualized the door, you opened it with your mind, and then you stepped through, okay? It's giving Doctor Strange, how he's able to open up all those different dimensions and whatever, right? And I'm trying to figure out the reality stone. I think is what he had possession of as the, I guess, the head mage at the magisterium. I forget what his lore is, okay? But basically, he was a big time doctor. So some of you could have like really big time jobs, and you're switching to a more fantastical kind of job, you know? So you're going from being a doctor who heals with your hands to someone who seeks like some deep cellular healing, okay? Some of you could be disabled in some kind of way. You're going to a retreat in Fiji. I don't know. And you heard there's a doctor over there that could fix your hands. The way in Doctor Strange, his hands were out of commission. He was no longer able to be a doctor. And he tried everything. He searched high and low, traveled the world, trying to find a cure for his hands, because being a doctor was his destiny in his mind, right? But his destiny was far greater than just being a doctor and healing people with his hands. He was meant to heal on a grand scale, save the world from peril, instant peril. You know, he was an Avenger. And that's even greater on the grand scheme of things, of healing and saving the world kind of vibes. That's what I'm getting. You're stepping from being a doctor, like Doctor Strange was, to being a magic superhero kind of vibe. That's the scale, the change. You know, that's the scale the change is taking in your life. I think that makes sense, right? Because something to scale. Some of you could be freaking math people and science people, because I'm just like, to scale. Like, I think it's like when you, so for example, you know how in, I don't think we did this in high school, but in one of the maths, you would have to take a small object and they would give you the dimensions, and then you would have to make it to scale of like a building or something. I think that's what that means, you know? I liked math growing up, but I wasn't too good at it, right? I was always good at reading and writing. So, you know, math was cute and everything, but after trigonometry, it kind of went downhill. Calculus was very ghetto to me. We have Page of Cups. Yeah, there's something here about filling your own cup, but it's like imagining even the most grand of things, right? The Page of Cups also represents change. It represents new people coming into your life with messages and news about something. And this news has to do with your cups, your imagination, your manifestations, your emotions, things you were always dreaming of, or things you felt coming but didn't think were obviously real or actually real kind of thing, you know? Jeez Louise. We have Six of Cups, so something from childhood, and we also have Queen of Swords. Do you want to take these cards? No, I have another deck I want to pull from. We could just see what they are, though. It was 3 cards. We have Nine of Pentacles, High Priestess, and Two of Cups. So you guys could be manifesting like a completely new, like I said, reality where a bunch of different things are changing in your life. Because Two of Cups is love. Nine of Pentacles is financial stability. You're going to be able to be your own independent. And the High Priestess is like spiritual evolution as well, you know, intuition, things like that, of that nature, moving in the dark. So it's kind of like how people say, if I win the lottery, there will be signs. That's a thing that goes around on social media. Like, so for, like I said, you're going to be able to afford a freaking Birkin. And your friends are going to be like, what the heck? Is that a fake one? Is that a false one? They're going to be like, no, it's real. And I'm going to be like, what the heck? Where did you get a Birkin? How could you even afford one? Oh, I may have, stepped into some money. Okay? That kind of energy is coming through. Like, your life goes from being a pauper to being a prince, essentially, is the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know how it's going to happen. And look, guys, the Ten of Pentacles is following y'all around. Like, I'm like at the bottom of the deck again. That's crazy. Like, we have the Three of Wands, which is the continuation of the Two of Wands. So yeah, big massive shifts are coming through. But yeah, okay. We have Nine of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles and Two of Cups and High Priestess. But I'm pulling from another deck, so don't worry. Those cards could still come out in the next deck that I pull from. But I just want to use separate decks to get, a little... I like using them now. Now that I've started, I can't stop. Okay? And I'm hearing that song by Michael Jackson. Keep on with the force. Don't stop. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the force. That's funny. Isn't the force supposed to be some like magic powers in the Star Wars series? Some magical force. Like, may the force be with you. You guys have like, I'm hearing something the Matrix. Like all these different, like I said, themes are coming through. So you guys are definitely like, the science and the math and that kind of stuff. But you've tricked the Matrix. You've come out of the Matrix. It's something like that saying with the Matrix in it, right? Anywho, let's keep going with this deck. I don't know why I put it back. I got distracted. Okay, group 2, please for the next big change. I want to try to keep this reading short and sweet, but y'all know how I be. I'll try my best. If at any point you get bored, you can just click off. I'm sure you guys do it already. I wonder who actually stays until the end of the reading. Because I know I do with other readers, because I'm just nosy. But here we have Justice. This is like giving the stars aligning, the universe aligning, things are opening up for you because it's what, like destiny, right? Justice is kind of like stepping into what you're always meant to do. Maybe you're meant to be someone who like helps the world on a grander scale and you're trying to play small and the universe is like, nah, sis or sir, we're playing big, right? You be bigger, think bigger. And you're like, okay, fine. What do you want me to do? Then we have the Three of Wands. Look, it came out. And the Six of Wands. Whatever it is you're doing leads to victory. And since we have a lot of cups and only wands coming through, it has to do with like dreams and manifestations and like creativity, This is not giving you like just a regular job. It's giving like, wildest dreams coming true in some kind of way. And I'm trying to ground that in some, because I'm not trying to make it seem like fantastical, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. I can't fake what I'm feeling. Three of Wands is like you want to be a movie star, right? And you get the audition, your big audition, your next big break, right? That's the kind of thing. And it's funny because I'm mentioning a lot of like movies, and those are like big movies that change people's lives. Before, we knew him as Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. We ain't know that man. We ain't know that man. I feel like he was in some movie. We ain't know that man. For real. Until he became Doctor Strange, right? The Star Wars saga, the Star Wars series, trilogy, whatever you want to call it. The people who acted in those movies, they are known. When you see them, oh, that's Darth Vader. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. That's that person from that movie, right? You know them specifically for those movies, right? That's the thing that gave them a household name vibes. And then what else did I name? The Matrix. That's what everyone knows like Keanu Reeves from, even though I don't know him from that because I've never seen the movie. But most of the time when people like to think about Keanu Reeves, they think about his first like big break in The Matrix. So those like is what's coming through, a big break, right? And in the movie music scene could definitely be important here. You get flew out to LA and sign a record deal, and your first single comes out in the next year, and you kind of like it goes up the charts, because a lot of people are hustling out here in the entertainment industry, and they don't get their big break until like they've been in it for a good minute. And like one of the best examples, I could use two examples, then they have their biggest breaks like in the last 2 years. So Sabrina Carpenter, she's been around for a minute. She's been singing since she was a little girl. She's been releasing singles and albums since she was a little bit after Girl Meets World. That's how long she's been around, right? And then she just popped up one day. I'd be forgetting. Let's not say we. I forget that she was in a whole beef with Olivia Rodrigo. I'm like, that's not what made her a household name. She made her own way after a little bit, and then she became like, she popped off like Espresso. And that was like 5 years after, maybe, the whole beef with Olivia Rodrigo, when Olivia was having her little shine. And even Olivia, she used to be on Disney Channel was it Freaks and Geeks? No, that was back in the days. Let me relax. But she was a freak and a geek on one of those shows on Disney Channel, right? And then she was on another show, and then she finally had her big break when she started singing like All I Want. Even then, that wasn't her big break, but that's when we first knew a little bit about her. She was singing All I Want from High School Musical, the musical, and then she released her first album, Guts, and then it just like she blew up. Another example, I didn't even mean to use Libra Rodrigo. My other example was Chapel Roan. Okay, she's been in the music industry for so long. You can search up her name, and albums from years ago would come out, but she only just popped off a few years ago. And these people are talented as heck. They've been in the industry for the longest time, but they've probably been manifesting. They've been flopping. They had like a little success, and they kind of went back. And I believe Chapel like let out so many albums and like went back home, was like baristaing and working as a bartender because she couldn't afford to live in Hollywood anymore. And then all of a sudden her songs pop out, and now she's back on the scene. It's like giving that kind of energy. You were giving up for the longest time, but you've been trying, you've been working hard towards something, and finally the thing you've been working for is kind of like coming into the worldview, is what I'm hearing. So maybe you're a singer, you're an actor, you're a dancer, and you're gonna get to be back up for this big dancer or celebrity singer, and then they see your talent, and then you become big as well. And I think that happened for somebody. Somebody was a background singer for somebody. I forget. Was Chapel a background singer for one of these famous stars, or was it Olivia? I don't really remember. But I know like somebody's big break was they used to be a background vocal singer for like Beyonce or Taylor Swift or something, and then they kind of got big on their own. Now they're their own like household name. That kind of vibe is coming through. Your world changes overnight. You go from being a nobody to everybody knowing your name. It's kind of giving how probably more than a few years ago, but when All the Boys I've Loved Before to All the Boys I've Loved Before first came out on Netflix, before that, what was her name in real life? Lana Condor wasn't a household name. She kind of still isn't, but her big break was that movie or those movies, right? And so was for Peter Kavinsky, whatever his name, Noah Centineo in real life. We didn't really know who they were until their movies. And then overnight, the movie comes, not the movie. I mean, yeah, it was a movie. I was thinking about shows as well. The show/movie comes out on Netflix, and then we fall in love with it. It blows up, and then the next day, overnight, they have all these thousands of followers, right? And it's kind of like, what? How is this even in real life? I was just a regular girl, and now I can't walk down the street without somebody noticing and knowing where I'm from. That's the kind of scale things are changing for you guys, okay? No mean to like pitter patter, but this 3 of Wands is giving me you're going on a movie audition, hoping against all hope you finally get the audition, and you really do, okay? And the Queen of Swords is kind of like giving someone who like uses her voice. She speaks, she sings, she talks, she motivates, she, emphasizes, that kind of thing, or teaches. If I didn't say that already. Some of you could be getting a teaching job. You could be getting tenure. Yes, exactly. That's what's coming through. Because the Justice card is kind of giving me like in a classroom, teacher, studious, smart, especially in conjunction with the Queen of Swords coming out as well. Move these over a little more. 6 of Cups kind of giving me a dream you had when you were younger. Someone's finally handing you those flowers you've been wanting for the longest time. You could have been doing this thing since you were young, singing, dancing, whatever this may be for you, and your dreams will finally come through now that you're your big age, right? And 6 of Wands, exactly. I forgot this came out. It's definitely giving, superstardom. That's what happens to a lot of those people on Netflix. You think Netflix is a small, little streaming service, but all those movies, a lot of movies, like blow up and overnight. The same for The Summer I Turned Pretty. We didn't know who Lola, is it Young or Tongue? I think it's Lola Tongue. We didn't know who she was, and then she had that first season, it blew up, and then overnight fame. Same thing with the boys in the series, the guys who play her love interest, the brothers, they were nobodies. We didn't know who they were until they got into this one little show on Amazon Prime. And you think it's little, but the show like just blows up, right? Or you're someone who does your own skits or your own stuff on YouTube, and you think, oh, nobody's gonna watch my stuff, and you kind of blow up. And then as soon as you blow up and you start getting enough, views or subscribers, now you can make money off your videos. Now you can do this. Now you can put yourself out there. And there's so many people on YouTube. There's people who are famous, who are not famous, who could make you famous. You never know. And your video can come across the right person's feed. They see you, reach out, and boom, before you know it, you're on a flight to Colorado, you're on a flight overseas, you're on a flight somewhere, right? It's giving regular person into superstardom. It's giving the content creators who go on brand deal trips and stuff like that and get free stuff sent to them. Like, that's the kind of energy coming through. You blow up. And now all of a sudden, a lot of people know who you are and they want to talk to you and that kind of thing, That's the energy I'm getting from you guys. And I feel like it's all because you have a message or you have something to say or teach people. Something about that is coming through. With the Queen of Swords, it's like justice. It's fairness. Having a voice and using your voice. I'm trying to make sure this is straight. But yeah, with all these cups, it has to do with like artistry and imagination and your dreams, the dream world, your emotions, things that will make you emotionally happy and fulfilled is what's in the next big change coming your way. And I was supposed to take all the cards at once for the reading. I just get so confused. These are too many. Or are they? Yeah, they're too many. I only want a few. Can I have only a few, please, for my group twos? The next big change coming their way. And they just give a bunch more. How rude. How rude. Don't piss me off. Whatever. We'll take them. Like, I always try to make the reading short, and Spirit is like, nope. You finna be here for 40 minutes. And I'm like, fine, if somebody's going to watch for 40 minutes, go off, sis. We have spy. So I do believe someone with some kind of influence is kind of looking at you. And then here we have a confession. Someone with some kind of influence is looking at you. And they're like, okay, this is what we want. It's kind of reminding me of a video that I was watching with Kino. And she was like, I think it was like the August predictions. And she was saying how there's a specific job out there. Your name is being whispered and talked about in rooms you haven't even entered, with people you've never even met. And they're describing someone who has the same characteristics as you, who has the same personality as you. They have a job that only you can do, but they don't know it's you yet. And you don't know they're looking for you yet. But something's going to happen that brings you into like contact, or you're crossing paths with them. They see your video and they're like, oh, that's the person we've been looking for. Or you put in a videotape recording or whatever. It's kind of giving me how when you want to, I believe when you want to audition for a reality TV show, you have to put in a tape of yourself. I think for Love Island as well, when you want to audition for that show. And even then, they literally go on island and they isolate for a month and a half. 8 weeks, or that's 2 months actually. It could be 6 weeks, I'm not 100% sure, but they isolate. They have no access to phones or anything, any outside world activity. They go on the show, they don't know what to expect. They leave the villa and they have like thousands, if not millions of followers, and it's kind of like your life changes overnight. That's the kind of energy coming through here, but you have to put an audition tape first for them to even consider you. And then when you put in an audition tape, you send in the resume, they pass your video, they're gonna be like, yep, that's the person, that's who we've been looking for. That's the perfect person for this role, this job, this thing. And that's the kind of energy I'm getting. That example Kino used for what was happening in August, like a job that you weren't even like thinking would benefit you or whatever. But she was like, whatever you feel like you need to audition for, sign up for, please just do it, because you never know what will come back to you or who will find you, right? That's the kind of energy coming through. Apply for the house you want. You never really know what's going to happen, but at least try to do something, because it's giving, as soon as you visualize it and step into that energy, it's yours, right? But that's a perfect example. The energy that they're looking for, people are out there wanting someone just like you. not knowing that it's you, but someone that looks like you, talks like you, acts like you, has the same beliefs as you, and as soon as they find you, it's over, right? Okay, so let's get some cards from here as well. For my group 2s, please, Spirit, what's the next big change coming their way? Someone is out there spying on you, looking at you. They have a confession, and this is at the bottom of the deck as well. It was spy, it was confession, it was narcissist. So someone who's a narcissist could be looking at you. Interesting. Could be spying on you. Someone is too full of themselves. Maybe that's what you're also, the next big change is coming your way. You're going to be really full of yourself because you've made it, essentially. Group 2, please, Spirit, the next big change coming there. We have move on. Some of you could be from group 1. And then the last deck that we're going to pull from is this deck here. Okay, group 2, please, Spirit, the next big change coming their way. This one to come out. The next big change coming their way. Please, Spirit, the next big change. The next big change. Can I get one more? Okay. We have a journey. So yeah, you're going somewhere. You're moving somewhere, I'm hearing. When people would like win American Idol and they would say, you're going to Hollywood. That's what I'm hearing right now. Okay. So let's see how this goes. Fix this back. Justice is also like the righting of things. If you were ever wronged, you're going to be righted. Or things are going to go your way. I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, it's kind of giving like you've been told no so many times, you're finally going to get a yes, essentially. And justice says, stick to your truth and everything will turn out just fine. Just be who you are. Be yourself. That's what's going to get you this next job or this next position. That's what's going to get you your next thing. And the 3 of Wands is put yourself out there and you will be rewarded one way or another. That's exactly what I was also saying, where if, like Kino said, just go and audition, just put out the application, apply for the job, apply for the house, apply for the vacation, apply for the sweepstakes, apply for the lottery. You never freaking know. Go play the lottery, and you may just win the lottery, and you never know. But go after it. You know, you'll be rewarded one way or another. They didn't say you're gonna do it and you're gonna flunk. One way or another. Okay. Here we have direction. Okay, so there's definitely something here about putting yourself out there, striving for something. You may discover like a new interest or a new hobby or a new love of something, direction. Or you may find the ambition that you've been looking for to propel you towards this new timeline. It could be new confidence. It could be a new wind. It could be a second wind. Because I know when people like things don't happen in the time that they want, they can tend to get down on their luck, and sad and sappy, and that kind of energy doesn't manifest anything good. So you're getting that second wind of you can do this, right? And then when that wind hits you, you're back to being in a good up high vibrational mood, and that's when you're able to manifest more things, you know? So maybe a second wind to do what you love after feeling like you were ready to give up. Okay, that could be coming through as well. Here we have self-interest. Interesting. That narcissist is sending me, because what do you mean? You finally start believing in yourself for sure. Like, don't become my group 2's a narcissist. You're rude. Here we have displacement. Yeah, this is like being somewhere you feel like you don't belong, but you actually do belong. So maybe this whole self-interest and narcissist that's coming through is saying you're going to start feeling yourself and believing in yourself the way you were supposed to this whole time, you know? If someone asks, can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. Or if I don't, I can learn. You know what I mean? I'm hearing fake it so you make it, fake that confidence, fake that, I don't want to say resume, but you know what I mean. As long as you put your foot in the door and you try, all you have to do is try something. If it doesn't work for you, you can say you tried it. If you never try it, how can you say you didn't like it or it didn't work for you? That's the kind of energy that comes from people who say, this is not for me. I don't think I would like that. Have you tried it? Have you tried playing chess? Whatever that could be. Have you tried playing tennis? Maybe you have a knack for it and you never even knew. And you've just been saying this whole time, no, that's not for me. You will never know unless you try it. Try something at least once or twice. That's what I say with shows. I'll watch one episode, and if it ain't doing it for me, I'm not going to watch it again. but you have to give it time to build and grow, right? So this could be something you haven't even discovered yet, but your next big change in discovering this thing, finding that new sense of direction, that second wind. I finally know what I want to do, right? I'm hearing Ferb. I know what we're going to do today. That's how you're going to wake up one day and feel like, hey, I feel like doing this one thing. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but I'm trying new things. And then trying one new thing, two new things, a bunch of new things, you find the direction you've always been looking for. And it lands you in this timeline you've always been wanting to be in, That's beautiful, honestly. Here we have sacred space. This is giving house, guys. It's giving having your own place. But it's also giving like massive success. People knowing your name, okay? Like cheers, people cheering you on, you know what I mean? Recognition, victory, where everybody knows your name. So essentially, the next big change coming into your life is you going after something and actually getting it because you believe in yourself and who you are and what you bring to the table. And that's that Queen of Wands. She can definitely be someone who's a little bit narcissistic. She's like, I know what I'm doing though. Like, it's not narcissism. It's not narcissism if it's true. I'm smart enough, I'm good enough, I'm a leader enough. Like, I know how to do this. Like, don't play with me. I'm getting a little bit of like Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder. That kind of energy coming through. She was so very sure of who she was and her talents, and nobody could tell her twice, child. Even though she had to limp everywhere. Let me stop. I love Annalise. No tea, no shade to her, right? I love her. Even though she was very limping everywhere, even though she would go home and pull off a wig and be looking crazy underneath it, when she put on that makeup and that hair and those clothes, you couldn't tell her not a dang thing. She's like, I'm Annalise Keating. Welcome to How to Get Away with Murder. Like when that first episode when she walks into the class, and she's just like, welcome to class, sit down, open your books, I'm going to teach you. And then it says, How to Get Away with Murder. Oh, that show is so good. But that's what's coming through here, though, honestly, right? You're going to be putting on a new persona, essentially, as well, right? One that believes in yourself more than you ever have before, and it's going to get you to places you always wanted to go and put you in seats and rooms and things you never thought you would be, right? But sacred space is definitely giving your own place as well. So like I said, if you're feeling the need to apply for a loan or apply for the lottery, not apply for the lottery, but you know what I mean? It could be a housing lottery because in New York, there's that kind of thing. You apply for housing lottery where I think it's like stabilized rent or something where you get your own little place and you don't have to really pay as much as everyone else. Like apply for something like that. You never know what's going to happen. You always thought, I'm never going to have my own place, but now you're going to have your own sacred place. And that's what I was feeling with the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as well. So yeah, guys, look at that. And then we have influence. How could I forget? This is tying in really well with 6 of Wands energy. People clapping for you. There's a celebration. There's like, it's like fireworks blowing up in the background. This is the first time I've ever noticed that. There's like things that are like poof, 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 fireworks in the back. You finally found the perfect outfit, the perfect dress that matches who you are, right? It could be, no, it's not something as simple as that, guys. I couldn't say that with a straight face. Like, is this something as simple as finding the perfect outfit to wear? It's not. It's much more grand than that, grandiose, than just finding a good outfit, guys. I gotta tell you. It's definitely giving like childhood dream finally coming true. It could be playing house, finding a partner. This is giving 2 people having kids, right? Finding a house to have kids in can be a big thing coming through as well for those of you who may be like already in a connection or already married. I swear I'll be forgetting to mention y'all. I apologize because I'm just single, right? So I'm just out here talking about single life, but you guys could be in a connection, and the next step is finding your dream home. And that's something you've been striving to do, and you finally get to do it. You find that house that you're going to be able to build and raise that family in, and it has everything you wanted. Like I said, it's a big thing. And 10 of Pentacles is having kids and building generational wealth or traditions and values, So yeah, some of y'all are having kids as well, because these 2 birds here lay their eggs and they're taking care of those eggs, and like this new house that they're building their new future in and moving in with their partner in is a sacred space for them. But others of you is giving job and work. Okay, here we have move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. So it doesn't have to be a person. It could be an energy. It could be a belief about yourself or the world or how things work. You're moving on from that belief. It's kind of giving me moving on from scarcity mindset, because I don't know, there's something about like finally getting on the other side of a belief or something that was like holding you back for so long. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to be able to have a stable job. I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, I'm never going to be able to have my own place. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to like pay rent every month. Like, how could I do that? I can't imagine myself doing that. And that was kind of like keeping me stuck. Because ever since, I swear, it's ever since my Saturn return like started, you know, because it's not over until Saturn moves out of your sign. But ever since it began a few months ago, I just been having revelation after revelation. I was having a conversation with a friend, like he's always busy, so we don't really get, he's always busy, so we never get time to like talk a lot. But when we do, it's always like really deep and catching up on like on a fast paced scale, like sending long messages of what's been going on in our life since we last spoke. And he was like asking me, and I'm like, girl, I'm like, boy, sorry. I'm so used to speaking to girl. I'm like, girl, let me stop. I'm like, I've been doing some healing, some transformation. I've been crying. I've been purging. I have been raging. I have been writing. I have been manifesting. I have been feeling like I can finally do things I never thought I would be able to do. Like, you know, have my own place. Like, just things that I always felt was never going to be for me are for me. Like having a good social circle, going out and socializing, being able to dance in public without being afraid. Like, I'm the friend grabbing the other friend and bringing them on the dance floor now. And I never thought I would be that kind of person. Like, just big, massive realizations about yourself is like coming through as well. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're becoming the influencer on other people's lives. They want to now be like you, you know? But that's what I'm getting with this move on. Like, believing that I'll never be able to do this and that. Like, those things like far in the past. So I'm like, why did you feel that way? Like, it just always blows my mind. But it's the environment that you're in, the people you're around, and how they affect you, whether they build you up or break you down. Like, it's a bunch of different stuff. But I feel like you guys are finally coming out of the fog. And that's that justice card. All the things that you're getting your reparations. Yo, you're getting your reparations. You have been held slave for too long, guys, and you're getting your reparations, okay? That's that justice card coming through. All the things you've been needing and wanting and never had is flooding in abundance, right? And it could be simply because you believe now that you deserve it, or something happened and there's a shift, or you're manifesting better now, you're happier now, like whatever it is, okay? They're banging down your door. They're not gonna stop until you answer. You better come get this job. You better come get this house. You better come get this man right now. And we're not leaving until you do. That's the vibe that's coming through here. Okay, anywho. We have commitment. Aw, yeah, you better come get your man. I'm not leaving until you do. Okay. And we have the ring, so it's giving marriage here, right? And Ten of Pentacles did come out. Okay. This is giving your life with someone, sharing your life with someone is what's coming through as well. Okay. We have no, it's not the right time. Whatever that means. There's no need for this. And then we have narcissists coming through as well. Like, what you mean? No, it's not the right time. That could have been something you're also overcoming. You were getting a lot of no's, like I said in the beginning, for those of you who may be actors or actresses. At first, it's like, no, slam door in your face, Now it's giving yes. Okay? And then we have narcissists, and it says someone is too full of themselves. I mean, it's about dang times what I just heard. It's kind of giving me Lizzo, how ever since she kind of lost that weight, she's been a different person. And not because she's more confident now, because she's always been confident. But now it's the feeling of knowing you could do something that everyone told you couldn't do. Or now, you know, people can't say ish to you. Because the big thing was always, you're fat. Oh my gosh, you're obese. Oh my gosh, you're so unhealthy. And now she lost that weight. What can y'all say about her now? She ain't ugly. She ain't fat no more. She's successful. What can you say about her now? Oh, exactly. Getting to that space of being in peace. Knowing that no one can say nothing about you. Okay, now let's keep going. That's the kind of end you're going to be in. Like, what can you say? The same thing is giving me what me and my sister used to say when you were younger, because you were always bigger girls. I don't know, it runs in the family. Our dad is big as well, so you know it runs in the family. We were always bigger, no matter how little we ate, because we weren't like, you know, obese when we were younger. We were like thick, right? Solid, yeah. You know what I mean? And then as you got older, it's like, it's like the weight just stays on longer, doesn't want to go away. Just, we're always bigger. But the one thing we would always say is, you can call me fat, but you can't call me ugly, because one thing about our face cards will never decline. Okay? One thing. And that's what would keep us going. Like, you can say we're fat, that's fine. You can always lose the weight. But can you lose the ugly? No. Okay, so call us fat all you want. It's fine. But we're still cuter than you on any day. Yeah. That's a narcissist behavior. Okay, I may be a little fat and husky, but you can't call me ugly, though. Oh, move along. Nothing anyone says is phasing you. That's the energy you got to be in sometimes. Like, okay, I'm big, but can you say I'm ugly? No. One thing I can do is I start losing weight tomorrow. What can you say then? Not a thing. Okay. Now you look doofy. Okay. Anywho, here we have merchant. So this is giving like trade. That's what I'm getting here. So there could be like a kind of give and take connection coming into your life. Or if you're someone who has your own business, you're going to be attracting more like people who are buying your stuff, right? A merchant could even be like a big, like grand scale, like manufacturer as well. You get so you know what I'm getting? How some people get their thing in Target or something, like they start selling their clothes or brand or whatever in Target. Is mass manufacturing, or they get it in Amazon. That kind of thing is coming through. Here we have sweetheart. That is that commitment coming through once again. You're going to get yourself a little sweetheart, period. We have journey, so moving somewhere, movement is coming through, period, because we have 2 of Wands, and then we have the 3 of Wands, so moving forward at a rapid, continuous pace, okay? And then here we have service. Interesting. So there could be a service you offer that's going to be getting a lot of like traction. Your site is going to be getting a lot of traction. Your products, your items, whatever it is that you sell could be getting a lot of traction. Some of you could be going into the service for real, Anything else coming through? Definitely travel is coming through for sure. Because we have this port here, and a port is where everybody goes to trade. So that's what's coming through, trading ideas, collaborating, stuff like that. And then we have journey. You're going to have to journey to the port in order to trade, right? So movement, like I said, you're going to go to LA to sign the papers and start recording your album, because that's where all the music it's filmed. If you want to be on Broadway, you have to come to New York and, get on Broadway. That kind of thing is what's coming through for y'all. So, I'll be talking too much, y'all. Anywho, I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, or just get in contact with me, okay, make an inquiry, who knows, you can always do so using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous darlings, my people, in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is going to be about what is the next big change coming into your life, okay? Yeah. I'm trying to find a way to rephrase it so it sounds cooler, but it's basically what's going on. Like, how is your life changing in the near future? Okay, so the next big change coming your way. We have the Tower and the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is following every blaster group, huh? For my group, no, I need another shuffle, a better shuffle than that. Now we have the 2 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. Interesting. That's funny. So the Tower with the 10 of Pentacles can be taken for the destruction. With the oh my gosh. The disassembling of a long-term relationship. And then the 2 of Cups and the 4 of Cups can mean, since you've ended that, you've been disinterested in other connections or more romantic connections. You've been wanting to stay single or something like that. So since the end of a really long-term connection, you have been disinterested in love. That could be your current energy or the energy you're going into. Let's see. At the bottom, we have the 2 of Cups. Okay, so My group threes, please, Spirit, what is the next big change coming their way? Please, Spirit, the next big change coming their way. I'm hearing your life is changing fundamentally. And yeah, see, the Hermit kind of confirms that. And fundamentally, it has to do with the way you believe things, you know? It's not even like how, I mean, it could be how you live, but it's not even like something like happened, like you're getting a new job or you're getting into relationships. Like the way that you believe life works, the way you believe in people and other, you know, and things and situationships and institutions is kind of like changing, you know? You're kind of going more into yourself. The Hermit card is like, who all is there? Oh, they're going, I don't want to go kind of energy, you know what I mean? You're kind of not going to be as social. That's a change coming your way. But the Hermit card is also about the acquiring of knowledge. You're going on a quest to learn as much as you can about a subject. Now we're going to see what else comes out. And the Hangman and the Hermit coming out at the same time is, you know, crazy work because they kind of mean the same thing. The Hermit card is going into yourself to change how you see things. The Hangman is changing your perspective on something, seeing something from a new angle differently than you did before. It's funny how I was getting that before the cards even flew out. Your life is changing fundamentally, like how your morals, your compass, you know, the things you believe in, that kind of change. Okay. So it may not be changing physically, but the way you believe things and how you move in the world is definitely changing. We have the Five of Wands. This is 100% giving me like activism kind of energy where you're believing come on. You're changing what you believe in. So you're changing political parties. You're going to start protesting. You're going to start being more active when it comes to certain things, fighting back, not just being complacent. Maybe before you were someone who was like, that doesn't involve me, so I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And now you're like, well, if it's like something that goes against human nature, I am a human, right? If it goes against human beings, it will eventually trickle down to you. It's kind of giving all the people that voted for that orange freaking man in the office saying, oh, he wants to come after the Spanish people and the Black people and the Asian people. It has nothing to do with me. And now the things that he's doing has everything to do with you. He's taking away healthcare. He's taking away freaking Social Security. He's taking away, you can't work more than these many hours. He's taking away your money. He's like all the things that you put him in there for, you're now being affected for. And now everyone's changing their tune. Like people are like, oh, we just voted for him because of the money. Now, what money are you making now? Like, he's cutting hours, like he's cutting freaking school care, saying kids don't need to be in school. How are you going to take care of kids with less money and, you know, less hours at work? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, you know? So maybe you used to believe one thing, now you're believing something else. It's true, you know? So you're kind of like going into hermit mode. And I feel like that would make a lot of sense because, I kind of feel like your outer world affects your inner world. So if you have like a lot of friends that believed certain things, for example, now you're going to be distancing yourself from them because you don't believe the same things. Okay, so that's the kind of change I feel like is coming your way. I'm not really getting like a spiritual change, but it's giving like a personality shift, you know? Or you're kind of shrinking more back into yourself because you don't really like what's going on in the world, the people in the world, and I completely understand, you know? So Five of Wands is definitely fighting for justice more. It's fighting for what you believe in, fighting for what you want. You're being more outspoken when it comes to those kinds of things, right? And it may have taken you going on a little short journey inward to figure out what you really wanted to fight for, what you really truly wanted to stand for, you know? Can I get one more card? And then we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, it's a different outlook. And then we have the Two of Cups coming through again. We have the Six of Swords. And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse. That's funny. So maybe you see what I'm getting. I'm hearing specifically how when after the election happened and a lot of girlfriends or boyfriends figured out their partner had voted for Trump, they was outie. They were like, is this the people that I really want to surround myself with? I thought I knew you. I thought I loved you. I thought our morals were aligned. Now I'm seeing you don't care about human life and you don't care about the life of the people around you. Because if you were to vote somebody in there that is like that, he's a criminal, he's a rapist, he's like just a full-on twisted, crooked individual, honestly, you know? No matter child is ghetto. And for you to have vote for that, you're voting against human rights, right? You're voting against all things good. You're voting against just practices. You're voting against like healthcare. You're voting against so many different things by voting for that man. And it's giving me how a lot of people like broke up with their person and they told all their friends, like, if you voted for that man, dude, unfollow me, block me, like, I'm so serious. This has nothing to do with money and oh, it's just the political difference. No, this is more than that. You know what I mean? If you're able to do things, say such things, put such people in office, then you're no friend of mine. I don't want somebody like you in my life. What could you do to me if you're willing to freaking F America over like that? You know, certain things that are coming through. So maybe you're broadening your mind or the things you think, right? Anyway, that's kind of what's coming through. So you kind of ended a connection. In the beginning, we had the Two of Cups and the Four of Cups. You were uninterested in being in a connection. Now you kind of are, because we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So I feel like maybe you're opening yourself back up to people slowly but surely with the Six of Swords coming through, okay? So maybe you're more so like focusing on yourself and growth, and even if it has nothing to do with politics or whatever, you were focusing on inner growth. You were focusing on yourself. You were in hermit mode. You weren't really seeing much of your friends. Maybe you weren't seeing much of your partner. Maybe it led to a breakup because of that kind of thing. But you're focusing on you, filling up your own cup, right? Learning something. And it could be something like spiritual, right? You could have taken a spiritual class, or you could have been learning how to do maybe Reiki, or learning how to read tarot, or learning how to read runes, or learning how to, there's something else that I was hearing. But you're just becoming more of like a healer and like in trance, whatever. You were deep in a learning curve, or in school. Some of you could have been in school as well. Something like that. You could even be on a break from a partner, because I'm hearing we were on a break from friends. So you could have been on a break from a partner. Now you guys are coming back together because now you're interested. Something like that is coming through. But there was like a lot of healing that took place with the Six of Swords, the Hangman, and the Hermit card, okay? And the Four of Cups in reverse. So where before you were disinterested, now you're kind of interested again. So maybe, like I said, you're putting yourself back out there after the, you know, I can't find my words today. It's annoying a little bit. After the implosion of your last connection, because of something that came to light that had you questioning what you were doing with someone like that. It doesn't matter what that thing was, you know? Anyway, we have Virgo energy coming through. Okay, so you were perfecting some kind of craft of yours. Like I said, you could have been going back to school, or you could have been learning different healing practices, because Virgos are known as the healer. They're known as the helper. How can I assist kind of energy, right? You could have even been like upending is what is the proper verb. You could have been upending a regime, right? Because with that, how can I help you, or something like that. It's giving me Max from New Amsterdam, where he came in. Maybe you had like a health scare and thought your life would be over, and you had to fight for that, and the life you didn't know you wanted, or you didn't think you would be able to have, that kind of thing. But it's giving me how in the first season he thinks he's not gonna live past the year or something, or you only had a few months to live. So you decided to take on like a managerial role at the New Amsterdam hospital, and he just wants to overthrow everything. Everybody gets free healthcare. We don't turn anybody away. Everybody gets this and that. Everybody deserves medical care. Everybody deserves to be able to afford insulin, and everybody keeps like, it's just stuff like that is coming through. Okay, so like I'm caring for the overall public, right? Is the vibe coming through. But he was the person who was doing that, because he's like, even if they fire me, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna die in a few months, but I'm gonna come in here and do as much good as I can to the healthcare system as possible, you know, before I go out. Morbid, but yeah. But anyway, we're going to get some cards from this deck as well and see what else is coming through. And the Ten of Wands is definitely like a lot of weight on your shoulders. So a lot of worries, a lot of school, a lot of studying, a lot of something was going down for sure. Things that were like very stressful. Let me pull from this next deck. I swear I was supposed to be like pulling out all the cards and then getting into the reading, but that was only group 1, I guess. Group 3, please, Spirit. What is the next big change coming my group 3's way? The next big change coming their way. Here we have the High Priestess. Yeah, so it's a lot about spirituality. So maybe you're going like, I'm hearing going dark. And that's something that people do in the military or like the FBI or something. When they're gone undercover, they go dark. I'm trying to figure out the last time I heard that. It was on The Arrow. I was watching The Arrow, and there was this, well, many government institutions in the show, right? But one is like Argus, where it's like something defense. They defend the U.S. from, you know, unforeseen threats or threats that are budding or could become potential threats, you know? And one of the characters, his name is Diggle, is with one of the people who are in Argus, right? And he used to be in the military, and they always like bring him in sometimes when they need answers or they need someone to be discreet, right? And it was this one episode where this guy was like, he went dark, but he was undercover trying to undo some kind of, is it drug ring or something in one of those islands? I don't remember specifically, but he had went dark, and they sent Diggle in to get him and to see if he was okay, just to end up finding out that that man was a bad guy. He turned bad, and he was trying to, you know, kill people, and purposely went dark. So that could be something. You learn someone close to you is like a really bad person, could have been a lover, friend, family member. Now you're kind of like trying to move yourself away from them, as far away from them as possible, and become different. You don't want to become like them. It could even be a parent, because I feel like sometimes when parents raise you a certain way, or they are a certain way, you kind of feel like, oh, does it mean I'm that kind of way? No, you're your own person. You can still change. You can, you know, change who you are, right? But anyway, yeah. Let's keep going. High Priestess, spiritual growth, advancement as well. You could be taking some time to yourself to become closer to spirit, you know. It's kind of giving like meditation. So learning how to meditate. Too many cards. Please, Spirit, what is the next big change coming through for my group 3s? Okay, that'll do it. We have the Patient Witch. We have the Hangman again. Interesting. So maybe your next big change is like doing nothing or settling in as well. Maybe you just made a big change or a big job move, or you just graduated school, or you just something, got a new job. Now you're trying to just settle in. So your next big change is like not doing much, but trying to become as comfortable as you can with this new routine as possible. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So you're going to be experiencing a few different things. Maybe starting new hobbies, you know, maybe organizing your home, because the way she has all these cups there, and it's kind of like showing like bling, sparkle, sparkle, when SpongeBob cleaned the spatula in one of the episodes of the, of SpongeBob. I mean, obviously. Your house could be getting a makeover, because we have 2 beds coming through. We have houses coming through very strongly. And there's a lot of different sceneries that come through in this deck. So it's giving like house, home. Staying home is the thing. Like getting rid of friends, being more to yourself, pulling cards, getting closer to spirit, cleaning, cleansing, getting rid of a lot of stuff could be something coming through as well. Maybe you're preparing for a move, or maybe you just moved and you're trying to figure out. I mean, people usually do that before moving. They figure out what they want to keep, what they want to give away. And they only bring the necessary things to the house, right? Ooh, sorry, I gotta stretch. That could have some significance to you. Maybe to stretch more, move your body, pour into you. Your next big change is like just making sure you're taken care of spiritually and physically. But the Hangman is like a stasis mode, and the Hermit mode is like kind of closing on yourself energy. So it's giving both of that. But then the Five of Wands is like fighting. So maybe you're going to be having a lot of inner battles. Very interesting cards, I would say. Let's get the rest of the cards. We'll do that for your group too, to see if they provide any more clarity. I just feel like you're protecting your peace by becoming this hermit. Okay, group 3s, please spirit the next big change coming their way. The next big change coming their way. Minding your business, drinking water, eating healthy, exercising, right? All those things are coming through. And then I'll get some cards from here. Bring your head over here. Stop playing in my face. I'm gonna try. We have they'll be back and open your heart. See, that's what I was kind of saying. Maybe you're in the process of healing right now. That's the next big change you're gonna go through. Healing so you can come on the other side and learn to love again or something like that. Because what do you mean they'll be back and open your heart? Yuck. Don't nobody want that man. I'm gonna stop. You could want your person back. I'm not sure who this person is coming through, but you may want them back. You never know. I can't talk for you. So far with the High Priestess, we have Pisces energy. With the Patient Witch, Hangman, we have Pisces energy again. So Pisces is coming through very strong. We have Virgo and the Hermit, and then we have Pisces coming through again with the Hangman coming through down here. Okay, now let me shuffle these cards. Group 3, please spirit. Group 3, what's the next big change coming their way? I'm hearing you live and you learn. So it is definitely giving for some of you, your next big change is breaking up with someone and spending time by yourself. Okay, if you don't have a partner, it's just spending a lot of time by yourself, getting to know who you are, pouring into yourself, learning more about who you are, if that makes sense. I feel like I keep saying that in different versions, but it's definitely you focus. Your next big change is maybe you're going through a physical transformation, you know, or spiritual. Group 3, you have intimacy. Interesting. I'm getting mostly intimacy with yourself, but it could be with someone else. The Two of Cups kept coming through as well. But Hermit mode and Hangman is giving by yourself. We're not getting a lot of people, if anybody at all, except for the Five of Wands here. So maybe people are going to be fighting over your attention and affection, but you're going to be minding your business, right? That's funny. Ew, what is that outside? Just saw a bug. Yeah, it's giving annoying bees buzzing around you with the Five of Wands. They're fighting for you. And you're kind of like, guys, I'm not interested right now. I'm just, you know, I'm hearing Me, Myself, and I by Beyonce. What is taking these cards so long? Stop playing, bro. Like, I'm not playing with you. Maybe there's nothing in this deck that resonates with what your next big change is going to be. Because what the heck? Their next big change. Please spirit their next big change for my group 3s. What is their next big change? Did something fall? No. You know what? I give up. Yet I'm still going. That could be something you may want to give up sometimes, but you keep going. But you have sexuality at the bottom of the deck. Are you guys going to be struggling with your sexuality? That would be very interesting. Yeah, maybe the relationship that kind of fell apart was you realizing I may not be attracted to men the way I thought I was. I may not be attracted to women the way I thought I was. And I'm going through this deep cellular healing. I'm going through this deep transformation, trying to figure out, am I ready to come out to the world? Am I scared? You know, maybe you found out something about yourself recently and it's kind of scaring you. But yeah, because the Hangman card is my review card, where you're seeing things, you just keep reviewing it and going over it, and you're scared to get out of the energy of being stuck. You know what I mean? But it's also you are being flipped around to see things from a different perspective. So maybe once you've been flipped there, you're kind of like, I can't go back to being upright anymore because that's not me anymore. Or I don't know where I would go from there. You know, something like that is kind of coming through. That's like really wasn't expecting this kind of reading, but it's coming through for sure. Then we have one more deck to just pull some cards from. It's kind of like, how can I describe it? I mean, I feel like I described it well enough. The Hangman review card, it's like you're in a constant movie marathon and you're just going back and watching all the things you've done in your life this far. And you're kind of like, how did I get here? You know what I mean? How did I get into a connection like this? How did I get into a family like this? How did I meet someone like this? How did I turn into this kind of person, right? And you're just kind of reviewing it. And until you're done reviewing it and ready to move forward, you're going to be stuck in this hangman mode since it came through twice. The hangman also represents spirituality because it's 12th house energy. It's taboo. It's the psyche, right? It's darkness. It's delulu, delusions, things that were kind of, what is it called? A film that was placed over your eyes. And look how I was talking about a film, a movie playing over and over again, and you're not able to get out of it. Hypnosis? Is that what's coming through? You're going to be hypnotized? Don't do that. Group 3, please, for the next big change. Someone could be holding you hostage in a connection. That could be something coming through. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay. These. We have these. We have that. But I want to get into this. Your next big change. It says protection. So you're definitely going to be protecting yourself. Maybe you're going to be upping your spiritual protection. Maybe after this last connection or this last lover, like I said, you're just focusing on what you need to do, what you need from yourself, what you want to be in the future. And that means protecting yourself from other people, essentially. You could be also upping your spiritual protection. Here we have resistance. Yeah, there's like a lot. How can I describe it? There's a lot against you, working against you. And it's like you're trying to fight against this. You're just always tired. You may not have energy for, play and relationships, right? And then we have risk. And then we have sacred space. Interesting. What could these all mean together? Move. I'm hearing self-loving. So maybe you're going to be giving yourself some self-love, okay, in the more intimate sense of the word. But going through the storm is the perfect way. That's the next big change. You're going through the storm. Like, I didn't expect this, nor did I want this kind of reading to come through, but I got to say what's coming through in the cards. Protection. You're going to be protecting yourself from people, from people who are against you, from people who are around you, We have the resistance. You're not going to be trying to, I'm getting, people trying to shoo all the kids and, here, go, 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 go. Don't ask me questions. Just do what we say. You're, saying, you're asking questions. No, tell me why we're doing this. You're becoming inquisitive again instead of getting lost. Or I'm hearing Chained to the Rhythm by Katy Perry. It's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. I do believe it's kind of like a political song about the political climate at the time. I'm trying to remember how long ago that song came out, but I think it was about maybe Trump being in office the first time. Just feel I'll have to vote him back in again. Still crazy to me. I feel like it's sabotage. I'm screaming what Trump was screaming the second time he lost. It's rigged is what is going on here, okay? But that's the kind of energy coming through. Chained to the Rhythm. It's giving political. It's giving opening your eyes, getting woke, getting involved, getting active, reading more up on something, learning more about something so you can make positive changes, right? That's the kind of energy coming through for sure. And it will need protection. It will involve you resisting something or a bunch of people or an ideology or a big storm. They want to, blanket over you and say, oh, just ignore this, It's giving how in the, The Wizard of Oz, how they're don't look at the man behind the curtain when they finally figure out that the Wizard of Oz is a fraud, right? He's a fraud. He doesn't have any magic. He's not no big almighty overruler or whatever he wanted everybody to think he was. And they finally see behind, I believe it's Toto, that gets behind the curtain. And he's while they see him wording it or saying it himself, the big head is moving. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. No, look at the man behind the curtain and see that what you've been thinking this whole time is fake. Yeah. Open your eyes. Right? So yeah, spiritual ascension, waking up, okay? And I'm hearing that song by Imagine Dragons. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones. booting up to make my system go. Welcome to the new age. Yeah, welcome to the new age. Radioactive by Imagine Dragons is coming through. So you're going to be like a force to be reckoned with. You can't be tamed. These are a lot of songs coming through. Can't be tamed by Miley Cyrus. Maybe you're going into your villain era, right? Where everything is just like, this won't do. I need to be better. I need to do better. That kind of thing. And you're going to be the kind of person who maybe drags everyone with them, right? Interesting. Villain era is definitely what this is giving. But then we have a risk. You're going to be taking a risk. Resistance and risk kind of go hand in hand, I would say. And then we have a sacred space. Interesting. Maybe you're moving out from home. You're moving away. Now you're finally going to have a sacred space to be by yourself and learn who you are without your family always there, you know? Learning more about yourself and who you are, which is really cute. I love that, honestly. You're going to finally gain some autonomy. I feel like is what this is coming through as well. You're going to gain some autonomy. And it may lead to you losing people in your life, but you're going to be gaining new people, okay? I'm hearing you're going to be meeting someone you didn't think you were going to meet, or falling in love with someone you never expected to fall in love with, right? So someone who could have been in your past, like, oh my gosh, I would never be with that kind of person, whether it's racially charged or motivated or religiously motivated, like, you know what I mean? I'm giving the example of how people who are from like Middle East or whatever, they get like a bad rep and they're like called terrorists, even though they're not, or all of them aren't. Because there's many people in the US who are born and raised, who are white, who be going and shooting up schools and all that kind of BS. So why is one person a terrorist but one isn't? You know, those kinds of things, those are kinds of topics you're going to be exploring and figuring out. Do I have rose-colored glasses on? Am I not seeing things clearly? Have I been a part of the problem so far? Those very deep, touchy subjects are coming through. And that's like a 12th house, a complete revamp. All the things that you didn't want to like overcome or face, the psyche, all of the dark is going to be coming to light, okay? So it could be, I didn't date black people, now you're dating a black person. They're coming into your life. I didn't date white people, and now you're dating somebody who's white. And you're like, oh, I never thought I would be here. That kind of thing is the example I'm being asked to use, okay? It doesn't have to resonate for you, but it could. If you're still here, it could. 29 minutes, how? Bruh. Here we have challenges, exactly. You're definitely going through this next change. It's not going to be easy. No one's saying it's going to be the most difficult thing ever, but it's not going to be easy. It says make a decision, work on inner healing. So I am getting the right vibe. And then we have intimacy. You could be becoming more intimate or deeper with a partner of yours. You know what I mean? Or maybe you're throwing away the idea of being in just a one person or two people connection. You want to explore more than that, like something around that. It says sexual chemistry and reminiscing. See, you could be reminiscing about what the intimacy you have with a partner, right? Interesting. You're reclaiming your body is what I just heard. That's very interesting as well. Like sacred space is now giving me the yoni, and it's giving me how you're like protecting that part of you. Maybe people, you were throwing it around to every person. Now you're kind of feeling the effects of sleeping with people who are just spiritually nasty. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, this is the after effects, you know? Like, I feel like eventually they start to like bother you and you don't recognize who you are anymore. So now you're reclaiming your identity and your body in this next change. This is very interesting. I'd like to, like, people who chose group 3, please let me know what's going on in the comments. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting to me. Or you could just be exploring more intimacy with your partner. Like I said, because I'd be completely disregarding people who aren't right in the connection. Because I'm just thinking, I'm single, so is everyone else. No, some of you are in a connection. You could be breaking up with that person or taking things to a more intimate, deeper level, right? I'm talking about uncomfortable subjects, things you never thought to talk about. Maybe you guys are becoming allies together, or you're becoming an ally on your own. But either way, it involves like going deep and figuring out, how am I a part of the problem? What part do I play? How can I fix that? Like big things like that. It's giving religion, it's giving politics, it's giving just autonomy, it's giving you, the season of you, okay? Now we have these cards here. In intimacy, you could be getting intimate with yourself, you know, exploring your own body, okay? Here we have a servant. So yeah, there is something here about you wanting to do better for other people, serve others, okay? Here we have merchant. So you have a servant and a merchant. So it's someone who is selling and buying, a consumer and a producer and a buyer, I guess, is the opposite of a consumer. So you're someone who's also selling, or I'm hearing practicing what they preach. It's like a good way to decipher that whole I'm buying, are you buying what I'm selling nonsense. You're like, no, I'm not. You know, like my rose-colored glasses are taken off. Like I'm not, you know, what is it called? Blind to the BS anymore. Here we have a lover. So a lover is coming through here. We have a wedding. See, for my people who are in a connection right now, you guys can be taken to the next level, right? For others of you, you could be going to the next level with a partner. That's the next big change. You know, getting married, or you guys could have been waiting until marriage to take things to the next level, and you guys will be. And that's the next big change. And then here we have doctor. Interesting. With lover, wedding, and doctor, it could be giving pregnancy as well. And I believe I said that with the whole sacred space and, you know, yoni vibes. You know, maybe you're going to be having a child on your own because you're sick of waiting for a partner. You know, things like that. That's a big life-changing decision. So I will understand why the hangman is coming through and the hermit card is coming through, you know. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. So you're dancing through the distortion. Me, yeah, you think we're free, drink, this one's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm, to the rhythm. You know, maybe traditionality or something like that is something you never wanted, or you didn't fully adhere to. Now you are adhering to it. Or maybe the opposite of that, being independent, not needing to have kids or a husband or a wife is something. But I kind of feel like with this marriage coming through and lover, it's confirming that there will be love in this next big change. Maybe you're going to find someone you can finally open up your heart to. Maybe some of you are maybe going to have like some kind of scare, because doctor is kind of giving me like you go to the doctor and they find something. It could be good, it could be bad. I don't want to fear monger here. That's not what I'm trying to do, you know. But that could be something that's coming through as well. Maybe a business is getting off the ground. You know, maybe you're going to be traveling and selling different things. You know, maybe you're going to be traveling overseas and you're going to bring back something, or I don't know, something like that is coming through, okay? Like, why is he holding her hand like that? What is he doing? Unhand her. Maybe you have like a traumatic experience. You're just trying to get over that as well. See, now I'm getting the example of Hazel Grace from The Fault in Our Stars. She's going through a life-threatening experience, but through that, she ends up meeting Augustus Waters, and they end up falling in love. If you haven't seen the movie or the books, I don't want to tell you how it happens, but it's a really beautiful movie. That's all I gotta say, okay? And that's the kind of energy coming through. You fall in love with someone who like changes your entire outlook on life. Because I believe Hazel was like very much pessimistic, you know what I mean? Very sarcastic kind of person. And it wasn't until the carefree Augustus Waters came into her life and kind of turned her into a different person, you know? He does the end. Yes, he does. I'm not going to send you 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐿𝐿 blind if you're going to watch the movie, okay? And you haven't already. He does pass away at the end, but he leaves an indelible mark on her soul. You know what I mean? And she's forever changed. So that could be what the change you're going through. You're going from being on your own for a long time to being in a connection. And that's something that is going to leave a big mark on you, because you were someone who's so independent. Like, I don't need this. I don't need a man. I don't want a man. And now here comes this traditionality or traditional views or situation trying to follow you, the husband, the kids, the wife, and the white picket fence. You're kind of like, I don't want this anymore, but it's still like following you around. So there could be a part of you that still does want it, stuff like that, you know. I feel like there's so much nuance to every conversation. You don't have to be hardcore trad wife traditional stuff, but you could be wanting to get married, and that's okay. In today's society, there's so many people who don't want to get married, so many people who don't want to have kids, so many people who don't want to go to school, so many people who don't want to work. Like, it's just crazy out here. It's like, what do you want to do? What is going on? What's happening? Why are things happening like this? It's kind of like it's your time to just learn and seek and look and sink in. Okay? But anyway, maybe some of you are becoming a doctor, getting your doctorate. think that's about it, though, honestly. Maybe you're just, you know, taking your health more seriously and getting a checkup, and that's why the doctor's holding your hand like, you know, a bunch of different stuff coming through. But I'm going to leave your reading right here. I hope it resonated. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. If you enjoyed this reading, like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you'd ever like to book a personal reading, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. Or if you just want to inquire about something, talk, say hi, chat, all in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous, gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.